So here's another fun one. This is something that people don't think about. So our tax law system, like most countries, is what we call a progressive tax law, meaning that we all have low tax rates. We all have a zero tax rate. First $12,000 is non-taxable. Then we have a 10% tax rate. Then we have a 12% tax rate on up to, in the US, a 37% tax rate. That's how it works. And it's progressive, okay? Progressive, the more money you make, the higher the tax bracket. Well, here's the cool thing. So everybody gets the same tax brackets, meaning that our children have the same tax brackets we have. Our elderly parents have the same tax brackets we have. So a lot of entrepreneurs have children, and they might be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, doesn't matter, 12, whatever. And you've got an underutilized asset right there, because they've got a tax bracket, a zero tax bracket that you're not using. And every year that zero tax bracket goes away. You had $12,000 you could have had in a zero tax bracket that you didn't use, okay? And if you've got 3 kids, you've got 3 $12,000 tax brackets that you're not using. So here's what you have to do. You have to involve your kids in your business. You have to involve. This is a great opportunity for entrepreneurs, because you think about it from a policy standpoint. Does the government want you teaching your kids how to work? Obviously. Would they like them to not be on the welfare rolls when they get older? Obviously. Would they like them to contribute to society through business? Obviously. I mean, those are all positive things, right? And so what the government says is great. So if you pay your children to work for you, now let's say that they're 2, but let's say that your business requires some child modeling. Okay, you could actually pay your kids to model. Now pay them a reasonable modeling fee. Don't pay them $12,000 to do $500 worth of work. Okay, pay them $500 to do $500 worth of work. But child models are not cheap. So you can pay them a realistic modeling fee. Or let's say they're 10 or 12. Have them start doing some bookkeeping for you. Have them do some work in your business. Get them involved. I started working at my dad's printing company when I was 12. Okay, he was paying me $1 an hour. He should have paid me more. It would have been better for him tax wise, but he did. I mean, we were all involved in the family business, and we all learned about business because we were involved in the family business. So there's a lot of benefits to involving your kids in your business. But one of the big tax benefits is that first $12,000 you pay them is deductible by your business at your 37% rate and non-taxable to them. So you just eliminated tax on $12,000 for every kid you do this. Now you say, well, I don't have children. Well, a lot of people a lot of millennials have elderly parents. Okay, and you're taking care of your parents. So here's the thing, parents, it's even easier because you don't even have to pay them. You can give them a share of your business. Okay, you can't do that with your kids because they don't get tax brackets for passive income, but your parents do. So you can actually give them a non-voting, non-controlling interest in your business. And again, let's say they're in a very low tax bracket because they're just on Social Security. Great. Give them an interest so that some of that income is showing up on their tax return in their tax bracket instead of your tax bracket. So taking advantage of those tax brackets, it's a pretty big deal, and very few people. And what's funny is, so I was in South Africa a couple of years ago, and I'm about to get on stage, and we have the South African CPA with me, and I turned to her and I said, okay, look, I want to talk about paying your kids. Can you do that here? And she looked at me, she goes, oh my heavens, I never thought about that. That's brilliant. I'm going, no, it's not. This is simple stuff, okay? It works that one works in every country. It works in every single country. You can pay your kids to work in your business.
That's so crazy. I thought of So Jimmy, if you're listening, which you probably aren't, so Jimmy Kim, last night we were talking about his daughter, Allie. She's super adorable, and she's getting more and more adorable by the day. And I was joking with him. I said, hey, can you ship her over here and you make another one? Like, I'll take her. And he goes, sure, no problem. Send her back when she's making money. And so Jimmy, she can make you money now. Like, just get her to do some photo shoots for SendLane. That would be awesome. And then you can divert income to her. That's so cool. Like, if you're listening to this, there's just so many ways to deploy this, and it's your choice. $12,000 is a lot of money, especially for entrepreneurs doing a couple $100,000 or whatever a year. And I mean, that's 5%. And you got 2 or 3 kids. That adds up real quick, real simple, real easy. Not to mention your kids are involved. They're learning. You're spending time with them. It's a cool little fun thing. Like when my nephew came here once, I keep always referring back to this. It was so fun. I don't have any kids, but my nephew was visiting and he loves the Learn Center. He says it's Disney World. And he went and he wanted to speak on stage. I was completely baffled. And so I took like an hour and a half the night before, like, working with him, teaching him. And then the next day he got up on stage and he spoke, and I just wished he lived closer by, because if he did, how much fun could we have? He would definitely charge me though. He's a very capitalistic child. So I know that.
But here's a cool thing. So your kids are minors, which means that they don't get to control that money. You do.
Yeah.
So you're not going to hand them. You're not going to hand them $12,000. You're going to put it into a custodial bank account or a trust, and you're going to be in control of it. And you're going to decide what to do with it. The only thing you can't do is use it for support, right? You can't use it for food or clothing or housing, but you can use it for extracurricular activities. You can use it for family vacations. You can use it for music lessons, sports. You can use it for any of those things, or I don't know, here's a thought. How about investing it for them?
I was just going to say.
Into your business, okay? So they own a piece of your business or a piece of your real estate or whatever. I mean, there's all sorts of things you can teach your children about money by having this available to them.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Really, really awesome. All right, let's do this. If you guys are getting ideas, I'm going to give the URL again. If you want to talk about how this applies to your business with a live human being one-on-one, go to wealthability.com, and talk to one of the amazing advisors out there. You can literally say, here's who I am. How will any of these and more, right? We're only doing 10 here. There's so many more strategies. There's so many things that Tom's done for me that we can't even talk about, because they're just, they level up. Like as your income levels up and as it levels up, the strategies you can deploy level up. And so anyways, go to wealthability.com.
Thanks for listening to The Fighting Entrepreneur with your host, Anik Singal.